woman.
Don't get married.
For sure.
Yeah, you could definitely build a woman in the West. I agree. You know, it's a little riskier, harder,
right?
But you know, because you have all these conventions in place that can fuck you up,
right?
And she might agree with these conventions, but I agree with you that it can be done.
It can be done.
And we say build a woman for a reason, because every single woman, no matter whether she's from Poland, Ukraine, or the United States, is built. You do not find good women. The idea you're going to go out there and just stumble upon some perfect creature, that's a fallacy. And that's a fallacy you need to remove from your mind instantly.
Yes, you build a good relationship, you do not find it. It's not, there's no such thing as a turnkey relationship.
Correct.
Point.
Absolutely. You have to build it, and that means you have to be man enough to build one, right? That's just the reality of it. So all these people who are out there constantly looking for a girl who behaves perfectly. And I've heard some stupid advice from a bunch of other people. I don't want to say names. I had some guy with a blue check mark message me on Twitter, and he's like, look, I'm trying to find a girl who understands to behave right, and I'm trying to find a girl who's done the self-work and is introspective and has been to therapy and understands. I was like, bro, I don't know what planet you're on. You can't even get a girl who's hot. Let alone a girl who's hot and been to therapy and is going to listen to a dork like you. Yeah, that's the reason girls aren't listening to you, is because you're a nerd. Right? That's the reality of it. If you want a good relationship, you're going to have to build a good relationship. And females aren't stupid. You know, for you to be authoritarian, for them to look it up to you with authority, you have to show some competence. They're not going to completely bend over and comply with you just because you have a dick. Right. And that's what this TradCon crap is. This idea that, well, I'm a man, she's a woman, so she obeys me no matter what. Most of you men aren't men. Yeah. And that's why she doesn't listen to you. Because I'm telling you, if you meet a woman who's half good and you're the big G, she'll behave.
Shit goes away. And Andrew says all the time that respect equals love. And I believe that fear equals respect equals love.
Yes.
So she needs to know that if she does anything outside of the framework of what you want, her shit's at the road.
Yep.
And if she knows that for a fact and she can respect you, Andrew's dead on about that. It does. Respect absolutely equals love.
100%. 100%. The same thing. Women, listen, a woman hasn't got to like you. She has to respect you. I have women who respect me and hate me, and I still fuck them. So she just has to look at you and go, you know, I can't stand you, but you are the man.
I get that question.
But if I have a scenario like that where a girl's trying to do something I'm not comfortable with, let's say I get a brand new girl, she's a male friend, that kind of thing. I'll sit there, and my threat as such is certainly not an ultimatum, because Rollo's right. My threat as such is to take her less seriously. So I'll just say, look, the kind of girl I'd take seriously wouldn't do that. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Do what you want. But the kind of girl I'd be serious about doesn't act that way. And if she sits and goes, well, I still want to go. I've told her I will not take you seriously if you do it, and she still wants to do it. Well, that tells me all I need to know about my relationship with that girl.
Queen sacrifice.
That queen sacrifice. If she sits and goes, well, why wouldn't you take me seriously? Listen, I'm older than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm wiser than you. I've been around the block. I know what I'm doing. And girls who act that way are not the kind of girl I can have a serious future and relationship with. It's a choice you must make. It's binary. You can't act in certain ways and also have my respect and my hope for a future with you. So which one's more important? You can make that decision. If she still walks out the door after saying that kind of shit, then man, you need to get yourself a new one.
And one thing that he does, if you notice, if you look really closely, is he does not get upset. He does not show emotion. He does not let her drag emotion out of her right there. He just promptly tells her, hey, listen, if you're going to be that way, I can't take you seriously.
That's it.
So
don't get upset.
That way she can't upset him or us or whomever.
Yeah.
And so because she can't get that emotion out of us, and you just tell her matter of fact, she can't say you're an ass. She can't say you're yelling at her or anything. And I believe that's a big part of why it works.
That's the best way to do it, because women, man, you also, another thing you have to understand about chicks, especially the ones who live in the modern world. Look at the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? They come here and they're addicted to drama. All they watch on TV is drama. All they see on Instagram is drama. Sometimes they want drama. They want emotions. They want arguments. Sometimes they'll say that crap about Vegas just trying to annoy you. They may not even mean it. They want all that emotion from you. But the problem is, if they can control your emotionality, if they can upset you to some degree, they have a level of control over you. So you have to be very, very careful getting angry at women. People, because I get called horrible names all the time, people have this idea that I'm out here screaming at girls, etc., etc. It's the absolute opposite. I'll just sit there and say, look, girls who act that way are not girls I take seriously. I'm making it clear to you because I like you. I want us to be together. But if you're going to do these kind of things, I can't take you seriously. Right. So, you know, I've been around the block. I know what I'm doing. That's my personal decision because I know what I'm looking for in a relationship. You can decide if you want to go Vegas or if you want to stay with me. We'll watch some movies. We'll chill. We'll hang out. It's your decision to make. Boom. And and this is the point, which most men don't understand. If you say that to a girl and she still goes,
she's going to do it anyway.
Yeah. And then you need to look in the mirror and accept I have no power. And if you have no power, then it's only a matter of time till it's over. Hey, I'm not saying don't stop fucking her. I'm not saying don't keep her, but start looking for a replacement because the clock is ticking, my friend.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. Because with my girls, if I say, look, if you wear red lipstick, I don't take you seriously, I'll never see red lipstick again. You know,
Yep,
because because
yep.
all they want to do is please me.
Right.
So if she's still acting in a way she knows upsets you, man, you need to start looking.
Yep.
But Rollo's right. These guys don't set boundaries. They ask how they set boundaries. They know the answer is to just set a boundary and act on it. They won't act on it. So they come on here trying to ask for some magic solution where they don't have to enforce a boundary they set.
For an
And this
answer they already know.
Exactly.
And Rolo,
Exactly.
this one have join in burning desire because they want to keep you.
Right.
And I want to say this real quick too. You guys all made fantastic points. I like the fact that you brought up fear, because we bring girls on a panel. I always say if a woman truly loves, admires, and respects you, every other guy is going to be invisible to her. You know what I'm saying? She's not even going to have an eye for other men
right.
because women want quality and they think they got the best. They're not going to go for anyone else. And if respect is the house, fear is the foundation.
Yep.
And you need that foundation of fear. And I always say to guys on the pod, hey, she needs to have the fear in God that you can leave her at any time, and that's when women behave.
Mhm.
I always say, Future, the song "Bitch Don't Get Too Comfortable." When a woman isn't comfortable, she behaves correctly because she knows you have other women in line. And the problem is that a lot of guys in the West, especially,
They quit.
they quit and they don't understand the basic concept that women cannot love you without respect. A woman's love cannot exist without respect being there first. And then that respect is derived from the fear of losing you.
Right.
Well, a lot of guys think, well, she likes me, she's hanging out with me, but they don't understand she might not necessarily respect them. That's when she's going out to the club still, she's fielding her options. You're just a temporary fix to her real need to find the best option that she can get. You're just a placeholder, which a lot of boyfriends are just placeholders, and they're not willing to accept that. So guys need to literally, when I said, I went viral, you want to know the sad state of the West right now? I went viral on TikTok last year for saying, you need to punish bad behavior for women. No, am I a dog? Punish?
Yep.
What are you talking about? And that's how I got the name Frank Castle. But it's a forgotten art to hold women accountable for their poor decisions when they're in a relationship with you guys.
We
You're
used
the
to call,
leader.
we used to
She's
call
the
that,
follower.
we used to call that makes you valuable, and that's what inspires the respect on top of that. Right?
And you can also instill guilt in them. And that's another thing.
Yeah.
You can instill guilt in them. So
Fantastic.
if a girl comes to me and says, so this was about a year ago, I was in Romania, a girl said she wanted to go to some festival. I said, I don't think good girls go to festivals. I didn't think you were that kind of girl. She goes, what do you mean that kind of girl? All my friends go to festivals. I was like, but there's different kinds of girls out there. I didn't think you were that kind of girl. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or your friends, but I thought you were a more serious type of girl. She goes, well, I am serious. I said, would your mother go to a festival without your father? She's like, well, no. I was like, I don't know. I just, and I'll say it in a very nonchalant. I'll just be like, oh, I don't know. I thought you weren't that kind of girl, but if you want to go. And then you bang, and you got to put it on them that way so they know it's a choice they're making that's going to devalue themselves in your eyes. Women try very, very hard for you to idolize them. They want to look beautiful. They want you to look at them and think they're amazing. If you're trying to say your choices will lower your value in my eyes, and they truly love you, they're not going to take the choice, right? It's only if they don't give a shit what you think of them that they're going to take that choice.
Yep.
And this is the problem with most men today. They'll do exactly what I just said. The girl will go anyway, prove they have no respect for the dude, and then he won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And he won't do anything about it, and he'll just go, okay, maybe next time. And that's not how it works. And I know it's, a lot of guys come to me all the time. Hey, I really love this chick. She doesn't act right. What do I do? If she's never going to act right and she's going to bang dudes, what can you do besides just be a man and leave? Like sometimes that's unfortunately the answer. There's no magic bullet.
It's the last line of respect.
Yep.
It's your last chance.
Yep.
It's your last chance of respect.
That's the last line of respect. If you're just going to tolerate anything,
Yeah.
what,
It's the last line.
what are you going to do?
I'll read
Okay.
these gentlemen's channels, and we'll continue on here.
So
So
I got a list of questions here based on
Go ahead.
what they said.
Sure.
So first one we'll cover is spinning plates.
Mhm.
So guys want to know how to be that alpha guy and have a lot of options of different girls, which is the abundance mindset. So each of us can go through how you should thoroughly spin plates the right way. And we'll start with Justin.
Nah.
the chat.
Yeah.
Thundercloud.
Southern chat.
Before you start, spinning plates, dating non-exclusively, which is what you do naturally anyway. So
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Handsome.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
giving
yeah.
you the,
Putting you on the spot, brother.
terminology.
Look, I think they know, honestly, and so I tend to treat them all the same. I treat them very, very well. I hold a very, very, very tight frame. Nobody asked me to go on girls trips, and like you guys always say, that they're willing to share. They're absolutely willing to share, and what they want to know is that they have position. That's really what they want to know, because they don't get as jealous as we are through infidelity. They want to think they have position. And if they think they have position and feel confident in that position, they will stay. And especially if you're hitting it right. That's a fact. Dick game matters.
Yep.
So go hard in the fucking paint. Go hard in the
Come on,
fucking
come on,
paint,
come
leave
on,
it on the
come on.
field. We're trying to win fucking championships, bro.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sweat. You know how you go in the bathroom after and you look in the mirror and you're like, dude, you fucking knocked that out the
Hell
park.
yeah.
Back yourself up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the shit matters, bro. So if you can make them feel like they're in a love story, and me and Sterling joke a lot, we call it dark game, you know, and like you text them constantly, and if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, is it there? So if she feels like the most important girl in the world, but she kind of knows that you have that going on, she doesn't want to look. And if if fear equals love and she respects you, it creates this new kind of freedom where they're willing to give you a yard pass on that because you're the best option they have and you treat her well and you're respectful and you draw the line and you keep it. Then man, it's easier work than you think.
That is key.
God damn.
It's easier work than you think. man.
Bam.
Good
Gem
answer,
drop
man.
there. Andrew.
Yeah, he's completely right. It's really not that difficult. I mean, I'll say now, I don't really consider myself as a man who spins plates. I have girlfriends. And when I say girlfriends, they are loyal.
Yes.
They are loyal
Yes.
to me. They do not speak to men. They obey me. They are my girlfriend. Sometimes some of them know about the other ones. We've all been on camping trips together, blah, blah. So I have girlfriends. And Waller nailed it. If they feel like they're in a love story, the only thing they're going to really be saying to you in the ear is, how do I know I'm not just another girl?
Mhm.
How do I know you care
Position.
about, how do you know you care about me?
Yeah.
They care about the position. The actual infidelity act really isn't that a big deal. And I'll tell you now, man, and this comes down to dick game. If you fuck weak, you can't say these things.
Yeah.
If you're banging a girl and you look her in the eyes and tell her, I'm going to cheat on you the second you're out this fucking door.
She'll come hard.
She loves
She'll
it.
come hard.
They
bro.
love it because
Yeah.
they love the competition anxiety,
Yes.
right? And females are biologically designed to share a top tier male. If they truly believe you're that guy, they're going to understand it. I'll tell you something now. This is a bit of a crazy theory. I don't think women respect men without other women.
Yep.
I really think that my girls now, as much as they complain that they'd love to be the only one, would respect me less if they were actually the only one. If I gave them what they wanted, they'd be less happy than they are now because they wouldn't respect me the same. I mean, I think when they really look at you as God's gift, they think it'd be strange that you don't have another girl. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
It's facts.
They care about position. They care about feeling loved and cared about. And I've talked about this at length before, but there's so many ways to make a girl care about. I'll tell you a very super quick story. A couple years ago, I had a girl. She was my main girl. I'm sleeping with all these other girls. And she didn't care what I did. She didn't care if I had a threesome, fucked this girl, fucked her best friend. She didn't care about none of it. She hated if I actually physically slept next to another girl. That was her thing. You only sleep with me. I get to hug you while you sleep. That's what I want. You can bang anything, you can jizz anywhere, but please, can you sleep next to me? And what she was doing is she was changing her mind, so she had a new way to determine her status as opposed to sexual exclusivity, right? And if you can find something, if you can show them something so they can look in their mind and say, well, I know I'm the one because I get this. Now you can come up with 5 different things or 5 different bitches, but that's the basic game. Waller nailed it. That's the basic game. It's really not that hard. And a lot of guys who are struggling with it, I find that kind of not surprising, but you just need to live your life and be who you are. And if you got the right woman and your frame's tight, etc., she ain't gonna leave it. It's gonna be pretty organic. It's not something you have to sit down and say, "Look, I'm gonna fuck all these girls. You need to stay." It's not like that.
autistic at all.
It's not autistic. It's very organic. It's just like she's dating you a while. She notices something in the apartment. What's this? I'm like, oh, don't worry about them bitches. Come here.
Yeah.
Right? It's just,
Just
boom.
some hoe.
It's some hoe. Yeah, and you just famoose it.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Finesse. Finesse
By
is
the way,
very
that can also be true. You can also actually care about the girl and not care about the hoes.
Completely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Completely.
man.
Say that every show.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
dude,
Agreed.
yeah,
A man can 100% love his girl or his main chick the same and
Yeah.
fuck another girl. Like for us, sex is extremely physical. And for some weird reason, I have to beat this into girls' heads every time they come on the show. They can't understand that concept every time I mention that.
They understand it. They emotionally can't accept it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bang.
And the autism's the one thing you want to avoid. Like even the way that question was asked. I'm spinning plates. How do I tell my plates? I'm spinning other plates. Like you can't be sitting down with some chick really and saying, "Listen, here's the deal." Blah blah. It's not organic. It has to be something she kind of half knows, kind of half suspects. Excites her a little bit at the beginning. Something you kind of half mentioned. She knows you're about it, but she's not caught you yet. Then by the time she catches you, it's not that big a shock.
Yeah.
You play it down. Boom, boom, boom. You know.
Done. Hey, bro, I know.
See,
You know, I know.
No, because like think about it, right? It's a little bit of a finesse.
Life's a finesse,
Yeah,
my
it's
friend.
a finesse.
Life is
Yeah.
a
You
finesse.
can't tell her to
yeah.
her face. You gotta let her see it play by play, Action by action over time. Okay, cool.
The,
I know what it is.
the most important thing, I think the most important cardinal rule to not break
Yeah.
is to never sit there and just lie blatantly when you're caught. Because when you
Yeah.
lie, you look like a coward, and that's unattractive.
Yeah.
So if a woman ever catches me, I caught you with this girl, and I know I'm actually caught. If she just makes it up, I'll be like, shut up. But if she actually caught me and I'm completely dead caught, I'll be like, look, why are you jealous? She ain't even got tits like yours. What are you jealous for?
Right. You know what? Yeah.
You know, you gotta just be a G about it. But if you're gonna sit
Right.
there and go, no, baby, no, it wasn't me, baby, and
You're like a
that's
coward.
yeah, you're a coward, and
You're a
that's why
coward.
most men lose their girls when they're caught cheating. 'Cause They act like a coward, and then the woman's like, well, you're actually
Respect's
just
gone.
Yeah, you're just a bitch. Respect's gone, and the game's over.
I got a story on that. There was a girl I was seeing, and I knew that she had left her fiance because he had cheated on her. And we were having a conversation about this. And I said, you didn't leave him because he cheated on you. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, you left him because he was so scared of you and he cried like a little bitch and denied it. You could no longer respect him.
Correct.
And me and her got no problems with me doing whatever the fuck I want from now on. It's over.
That was easy.
It's done. It's just that done. And I'll say another thing on that. What Andrew was saying is absolutely right. No woman wants a man that other women don't want, because if other women don't want you, what the fuck does she need you for?
Bam.
I think
You
this this plays to what we discuss all the time, that if you ask a woman what she likes in a man, she's always going to give you politically correct answers that actually lower your arousal,
Yeah.
but might subtly increase your attraction. This is one of them. I want you to be faithful to me, whatever. And as soon as you give her that, what happens? You take the L. And the thing that I've come to realize is I always say there's a bunch of attraction triggers, right? You know, you got the pre-selection, leader of men, confidence, attraction, height, all this other shit. But by far, the biggest attraction trigger is pre-selection.
Yes.
And women need to know constantly that they are with the best man that they can actually get. And there's nothing more genuine and authentic than other women showing that they are attracted to you. So she constantly knows in the back of her mind, I got the best that I can get because I have to fight to keep this guy, and all these other girls want him. Because women, unfortunately, what I've come to realize, need a cosign from their partners.
Right.
If we're all in the club, right, and I meet a chick and she is hot or whatever, I'm not going to consult with you guys to leave with her. I'm just going to leave. You're like, where'd Myron go? Oh, he left with some bitch. Oh, okay, ha, ha, ha. And you guys all
Yeah.
continue drinking and partying.
Yeah.
But girls, on the other hand, if they're with their girlfriends and they meet a guy, they could be head over heels. Oh, my God, this guy's so attractive. I want to fuck him. She's still going to go to the bathroom with her friends. Okay, I met this guy. Here's his Instagram.
Yeah.
He's really cute.
It's true.
I kind of want to leave with him. And they're going to fucking have a discussion about it and talk. And then if the panel agrees and she's not going to feel like a slut after, she might leave with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, women need a cosign from other women. It might not be that deep, but to some degree, the hive mind, as Rolo calls it, needs to approve of the man to some degree. So that's the difference between us and them. They need that constant validation with their own two eyes that other women want him. And sometimes it's her finding a brush in your closet. Maybe it's hair on the floor. Maybe it's hair in the drain. That's what they need. Sometimes they'll get mad,
Tell them.
but at the same time, they'll get aroused.
Hair in the
Completely.
bag.
And a lot of the skill is when they catch you, that's where the skill comes in, right? So I wouldn't say I deliberately get caught cheating, but I don't try that hard.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not like changing the sheets and having a
Yeah, tell 'em,
shower. And shit. She'll just walk in,
Tell 'em.
same bed sheet. Like I got shit to do.
Wash all the makeup.
I got shit to do. And like if she might find something around the house, I'm lucky because I live with my brother. I'll be like, oh, that's Tristan's. She'll be like, why is it in your room? I'm like, I don't know, that's T. And then I'll say that at the beginning, and that's like the precursor, right? Because she caught this. I said my brother's girl put a hairbrush in my bathroom attached to my living. She know that ain't real, but it's the precursor. You kind of ease her in, and when she finally catches you, that's where the game comes in. That's where the actual famous is.
Bam.
And it's just a little bit of skill, a little bit of finesse, and you just have to convince her. I don't know what you're worried about some stupid bitch for. I thought me and you were serious. I thought you were the kind of girl who was interested in a long-term relationship. Why are you worried about some stupid hoe? And reframe it. Like, why are you acting this way?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do nothing wrong.
Make her
Why
look
are you
crazy.
acting this way? Why don't you act like an adult? We're all adults here. Well, you never had a man? How many men? You a virgin? Oh no, you fucked that guy. So what? Oh, but that was before you. Before me, after you. I don't give a shit. You took dick. Why are you coming to me complaining I had a little bit of pussy? Be quiet. It's fucking Friday night. We're supposed to go out for dinner. You coming or not?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the game, man. It's done. It's done.
It's ready to talk. But that
that's
is important, because if you can't hold frame right there, you're about to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And
about to
and you
lose.
can't. Another big thing that dudes fuck up with is that they're not immune to the tears.
The tears.
You got to be able to sit there and put up with the
Emotionless.
And why is it?
crying.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't mean you're bad. Doesn't mean you're a bad, evil person if you can just sit there and listen to a woman
Yep.
cry and not flinch.
And what you have to know about that, because Mr. Tate says this all the time, they only cry because they got no hands, bro. They got no fucking hands, bro.
That's Tristan's line.
Yeah, yeah.
So no,
Yeah,
Tristan
yeah.
will do it all the time. Tristan will be in the club with two of his chicks who know each other, and his third chick or fourth chick will find out on Instagram and try and run to the club and turn up to that. And Tristan will just turn to me and go, "They ain't got hands. What they gonna do? They can't fight me. You can't attack
You can't beat me up."
Tristan's like, I'll take all three at once. They ain't got hands.
Yeah.
So what? All they're gonna do is cry and attempt to manipulate you. It's a manipulation tactic, and if you fall for it, it's your own fault. And once again, you can finesse that shit off. If a girl cries in front of me, I say, if you keep crying, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm telling you, stop crying. You're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
You just make a
My-
joke of it. She's sitting there
After
before
they
you,
cried at the same time.
yeah, before you know it, she's getting fucked. That's the game,
My
man.
guy, shout out to Donovan Sharp. He says this all the time, and I agree with him 100%. He says a woman's tears are only genuine when she's alone, not in front of others.
Bet,
Yeah.
bet.
And
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, you guys got to understand that like that's what women will do because they know they're pretty much at a last resort. So they know that a lot of guys don't feel comfortable watching a woman cry or being like being in a damsel in distress. So a lot of guys will sit there and try to comfort or whatever. You got to stay strong and be like, I don't give a fuck. Like it is what it is.
Because you're training her to do that again.
Yeah.
You're training her to do that again in that moment.
Yep.
Yep.
You got to let her know you don't give a fuck when she cries. Guys.
Yeah.
I know it sucks, but
That's time to cut attention right
Let me
there.
see it.
Yeah.
Like
Why are
playing
these
the
dudes
field.
hanging us off the balcony?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We're putting on a show
Yeah,
for all
yeah,
of
yeah.
Midtown.
The neighbors can see, bro. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Performance is super, super important. Like, there's only so much you can do without performance, right? There's only so much you can do without performance, and you're right. If you have experience, she's going to expect for you to have at least had a lot of girls or have the capability to have a lot of girls. I think there was a study somewhere, and this common sense that men like the idea of a virgin. Any man, even us at 35 years old, you give me a 19-year-old virgin, I'll take one today. But women are completely repulsed by the idea of a virgin male. Even if she's a virgin, even if she's a virgin, she doesn't want a virgin. She wants a man who slept with other women, right? That's their biological
They'll never
program.
admit it, but yeah.
But it's true. Like
Yep,
if you get a virgin 19-year-old girl doesn't want a virgin 19-year-old boy. She wants one of us handsome bastards. Like they kind of understand this on an innate level. And dick game's a huge part of that. You have to be able to perform at the end of the day. And you're only going to be able to perform with experience.
Yeah.
And the more experience you have at having sex, the more experience you have at getting girls to have sex with you. And they put the pieces together. You know, if you're good at what you're doing, they put the pieces together. I had a girl say to me once, we were arguing about some shit. It's probably something about catching me cheating. And she says, you only get away with this because you can fuck. And I said,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, maybe that's true. And she turned to me and she goes, no, you don't understand, Andrew. I was like, what? She goes, I've slept with four men in my life and you can fuck. So let's say we break up. I have to go now and try and find a new guy who I think can fuck. He probably can't fuck. And I'm going to be disappointed. And then another guy, see, it's a year in now. It's my second guy. He probably can't fuck. And then maybe on the third guy, I might get a guy who can kind of fuck. It's a year and a half from now. And it's investment. She goes,
And every time she does that to try to replace you, she knows she has to run her number up,
yeah,
which
Bam.
means she brings her value down.
That's right.
She's fucking herself.
she's fucking herself. And if you're a complete, if you're the Miami-esque hoe, you don't respect that. But if you're more traditionally minded, like some of the girls I kind of associate with, they're literally like, I have to go get 4 more dicks to get good sex. You're an asshole, but you know what?
And she still might. She's still alpha widow.
Yeah.
She's still alpha widow.
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah. So
I have one tiny little detail of that as well, because the guy talked about like how can I, we don't like the way he was phrasing the question, but like how can I display that I have options? And I'd say this, and we do this a lot, is like, have you turned down sex from her
Yeah.
at any point? Like, are you
Dude,
too
that's
busy?
a fucking
I do that all the
missile,
time.
bro.
Like she wants to come over.
If
She's like,
it's
"What's up?" Yeah, like, are you busy
Sleep.
tomorrow night? Sorry, baby. And you know that she wants to come over and suck your dick, and she knows that she wants to come over and suck your dick,
And
but you're still turning her down.
Do not
That's
principle.
And
that's
Sterling.
a guy that has options.
Sterling, I know we both do this. If you want to traumatize her, do it when she's laying in your bed.
Say no.
Do it when she's laying in your bed. She does some stupid shit, says some dumb shit to you, and she goes to reach for it. Nah, roll over on her ass.
Yep.
It'll change the
Dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Denying girl sex is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Another
Yeah, bro.
another fantastic way to give her inklings. This is easy for me, but you boys live together. Obviously, I live with Tristan. So any girl who's around me long enough sees Tristan bring 4 or 5 girls a day inside out.
Yeah.
And she's like, she goes, how do I know I'm not one of them girls? I'm like, listen, baby, I'm the good brother. And then Tristan will go, yeah, he's the good brother, and roll his eyes. So like, she'll kind of be like, are they joking? Are they not? And it eases her into the idea. And what's funny is if she's around it for a few weeks and she sees Tristan doing all this and Tristan's making jokes, And what they end up doing is laughing and joining in the jokes. They end up saying, Tristan, that last one, she really likes you. I could see in her face. Instead of which one's coming next, and like being his friend about it all.
Yeah.
So when she's his friend about all the pimping, it's harder for her to get mad at me when she catches me doing the pimping.
Right.
so like if they're around that environment, if you have boys around you who are living that lifestyle and they're kind of around it, if they get a bit more accustomed to it when they get to get eased in when they see your boys doing it, and they're like, you know what, it really ain't that big a deal. But obviously that's harder if you're rolling with a bunch of punks. But if you're rolling with the G's, it's not.
Then it's
so
easy
Very,
money.
very true, man. That's actually a very underrated tactic. Is having guys that are also pre-selected in your team. That's rare in itself.
Listen. Having guys pre-selected on your team is absolutely it's so valuable.
Huge.
And most of these dudes out here are rolling with lames. I see it all the time. Like, oh yeah, me and my girl split up, and my friend was talking to her. Why would your friend talk to your ex? Listen, if Waller's ex upset him to the point where Waller had to leave her, I don't care what words she could possibly write in the English language to me on any platform on the planet. You do not exist. I don't need to talk to you. Waller said no to you. Why am I talking to you? Like, most dudes are so lame, their own friends are against them. I can go to Waller and say, listen, man, she ain't cleaning the house just because, I got caught fucking her sister and now she won't clean up. And Waller would be like, that bitch out of control. Take,
Done.
take my side.
Done, bro. Done.
It's crazy. And most of you guys are rolling with punk dudes. You're in a punk circle, and the girl doesn't respect you because she sees your friends are punks, and they're on some sly shit with your girl probably anyway. And your men aren't in charge of their women. If you get a new girl and you bring around your boy, and your boy's taking shit off his girl, what's she gonna do to you? She's gonna give you shit. You have to have an important circle. And what's even better, if you have a good circle around you, I'll tell you what me and Tristan do, because obviously Tristan's solid. He's my brother, right? Not only is having Tristan next to me good, but having Tristan's girl is next to me
That's
good.
fire.
Because Tristan's girl is now on the team.
Right.
So Tristan will have a girl who he's been with for a few years. She knows me. I'll say to his chick before we go out, give her a wink. She knows the game. We'll go out, me, a new girl, Tristan, his old girl. And after a few drinks, whatever, the girl will suggest, let's all go to the house. It's fun at their house. You should come. It's really fun. The girl will do the invites. The girl will do the fun moves because she wants to impress Tristan. I don't have to do anything. You need a team around you. Most of you dudes are rolling with lanes. I see it all the time. As you see all these dudes like competing for one chick. If we walk in, I don't care how bad a chick is. If my boy wants her, fucking have her, bro. I'm not out competing. I'm not trying to compete with my boy for some pussy.
Right.
Well, it's insane. I see full-grown men, groups of full-grown men try to compete for the same bit of pussy, and you all look like punks. In her eyes, you'll turn on your boys for some pussy. If I walk in there and say, you want her? Yeah, I actually like her. Enjoy.
Have her.
Have her, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Here's a pro tip on that: how you pick your friends. If I have a guy that I want to be friends with, and he's not in abundance of two things, money and pussy, he ain't my friend.
Bam.
He ain't my friend.
Yep.
Because he's in a desert, and it's not so much. It happens all the time. Guy's desperate, hadn't been laid in a long time. The friends break up, and then the first thing she does is call him. And it's not because he doesn't want to love that man. It's because he's so fucking desperate that he does it. He's in a desert of pussy.
He's starving.
And he can't get it anywhere else. And that's the only connection he has. And he loses a friend he could have had for life over 5 fucking minutes.
And I'll say this too as well, that I need guys to understand when it comes to like dealing with guys that don't have an abundance mindset with women. Men will do stupid things to get box. And the stupid things they do can sometimes compromise you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Besides, like, an ex-girlfriend potentially having sex with you, whatever, he might change his thought process and put you in a compromising position because of women. You know what I'm saying? He might go ahead and, hypothetically speaking, right? You might be at a club. He might go and hit on a girl, right, that is tied to some individuals that you might not necessarily want to deal with. And now next thing you know, you're getting into an altercation because his dumbass is too thirsty or too stupid to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this girl isn't good to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Or he might bring a woman around you that is trouble. You know what I'm saying? That might fuck your situation up. Guys that don't know how to select women or guys that don't get girls in general, they tend to have bad judgment a lot of the times. And they can fuck you up with their bad judgment.
You can't trust dudes who don't get pussy because on a long enough timeline, there is a 1,000% chance they sell you out for pussy.
Bam.
Whether it's your ex, whether it's a new girl that they just get, then they stop replying to your ass because she doesn't like them hanging around with you anymore. They vanish on you. Dudes who can't get pussy are going to sell you out for pussy. And what's crazy about all of this is that most people very seriously understand that you are You are the product of the 5 people you hang around with most often.
Yeah.
They say it all the time. You're going to be the 6th one. Hang around 5 millionaires. You're the 6th millionaire, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why most of you boys are rolling with dudes who can't get laid anyway.
Yep.
Like, if you're with some lame who can't even get a girl to talk to him, why are you even his friend? Like I know that sounds like a horrible thing to do, but when I roll out with my team, I know we'll all throw down if it gets into an altercation. We're all going to be able to handle ourselves for pussy. None of us going to fucking snake each other over a little bit of pussy. If we get arrested in the police station, they say, "Oh, Sterling said this." I say, "No, he didn't. Fuck you. Call the lawyer."
Yeah.
Right? You need to be with your boys.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are even rolling with these other weak dudes and wonder why you're such a fucking weak dude and why these chicks don't think you're a weak dude, because you're also judged by your team. That's something else to keep in mind, man. You're rolling with a bunch of lames who are crying their eyes out over girls, and then you expect your girl to respect you. You don't even respect your fucking self.
And
So
one
I
more
got
thing too.
I got a story, right? So picture this.
what?
So we're out chilling with the boys, right? And oftentimes we spin plates, basically all our friends, we bring different girls around each other, right? So we're all having fun, getting lit. This one guy, right, has she's like a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Bad girl to the bone, always on there for him, right? However, he brings other girls around us, and it's like, okay, cool, we know what time it is, blah, blah, blah. This one guy fell in love with that girl from seeing her all the time. He would go behind his back and DM her and say, "Yo, you're a good girl. You know, you don't deserve this. Your man's cheating on you. He's bringing other girls around." I was like,
The
what
fuck
the
is
fuck?
that shit?
So what happens is, right, the girl's like confused. She's like, wait, my man's saying he's going to work, but he's bringing other girls around. Like, what's going on? So she's questioning, like, what's, daughter her man now. He's putting doubts in her head. And then she says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm broke up with him, right? Over time. So then the guy that was DMing the girl tried to get with her. And it's funny because that whole dynamic there, he was never a friend. Went behind his back, sending her DMs, and is like, yo, what kind of friend is that? So you're right, 100%. The guys that you roll with have to be getting laid, because if they're not getting laid, they can try to sneak behind your back.
And
I'll tell
one
you
more
another thing. Her even answering that text
It's a problem.
is
Yeah.
like, hey,
Medium
hit
is the
it.
message.
She should have, once again, she should have told homeboy, yo, this was going on.
Exactly.
But she ain't gonna respect her man if she knows her man's rolling with men who snitch on their own man.
Bam.
Yeah.
It's the whole
Yeah.
trifecta
Yeah.
of disrespect. You have to respect yourself first. And how does a woman respect a man? When she sees that he respects himself and other men respect him.
Yes.
Bam.
So if they're gonna sit there and go, all right, so you're my man, but the boy who's closest to you thinks you're such a bitch that he'll snitch on you, and he ain't even scared of catching some hands. Well, then fuck you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's why there's two things that we do all the time when we're hanging around with girls. One of them is we never say we take the piss out of each other all the time, like here
Yes.
around
Yeah,
the boys,
yeah.
but we never say a damn
Yep.
thing negative about. Like,
Thank
we
you.
do not
I've
do
said that
around
all the
women.
time.
And it's not
Never.
fucking cute, bro.
Never.
Can't do
We
that.
Like
don't
the
do that.
small undertone shit, it ain't
Never.
fucking cute, bro.
And the second thing we do is we always gas each other up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Like, he
second.
He brings like, hey, this is my new wife or whatever.
Yeah,
like around
yeah,
us
yeah.
to the club, you bringing a girl to the table. It's like, how the fuck did you get so lucky to meet Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
How
know
the
who that
fuck-
is?
you know who they find?
Do you, like when he goes to take a piss, dude? Do you know who that is? Like the first date, dude, that's Sterling fucking Cooper. All the time. Like I know for a fact when I go take a piss, what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like we run plays, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta, and